Everyone's favorite Irishman from NXT UK, especially Sat,
Boo! Boo!
has gone from Jordan Devlin to JD McDonough. He taught me how to say it before we went live here, but I still messed it up. JD McDonough is now Jordan Devlin. Jordan Devlin is now JD McDonough. And we are here to talk about it as a new name change has happened on NXT 2.0. A new star from NXT UK has arrived on Tuesday nights. It is me, your true phenom SP3, back in the saddle once again with Mommy Niangi's baby boy, Sat E. And what did the E stand for on this Wednesday?
Explosive. Yeah, we're gonna have an explosive time today for some weird reason. I think it's at dinner, but I always have dinner before I do a show. But I have this extra amount of energy in me because I'm gonna crap all over this blockhead. This guy's head is bigger than his entire body. Now he's gonna get charisma-less vacuum onto my screen. But every time we talk about NXT person, I must mention that a certain NXT UK, a certain kid is still missing from NXT 2.0. A kid's missing, guys. A kid's still missing. We need to report this. It's been a few months. A kid's still missing, guys, in NXT 2.0. I don't care about UK. I don't care about Indonesia. I don't care about Japan. A kid's missing in NXT 2.0. Mocha 2.0. SP, let's talk about it. What's causing all this mess?
You know what type of parents you gotta be when your kid goes missing and you just get a new one from the same place, from the same NXT UK orphanage. But that's exactly what NXT 2.0 did. We want to hear what you guys think about Jordan Devlin, JD McDonough's new name, the latest name change. I have to keep saying it so it gets in my head.
You know why? Because he was about to say JD McDonough. We don't do that. The G and the H is silent. He's been in the UK for 3 months and he's learning our ways. His child is calling French fries. What the heck is that? French fries. Chippies. He says he's gonna watch the footy. He's got a football team now. He likes what? Chelsea or Arsenal. SP likes the football.
The Los Angeles Lakers have a football team? That's crazy. But we want to hear from all of you about the latest name change in NXT 2.0. You should send us those Mochachats at WrestleTalk.com/support. We want to hear from all of you what you guys think about JD McDonough's new name, Jordan Devlin, the artist formerly known as Irish McIrish, as Tempest said in the news review. But yes,
it's an ace hole. That guy's an ace hole.
Never bet against the ace. So to talk about this vignette that we saw that introduced Jordan Devlin or reintroduced Jordan Devlin to NXT 2.0 as he was a former NXT Cruiserweight champion on this show. We see Oh, will you stop? We see a vignette for Jordan Devlin who talks about the winds of change coming to NXT. He says to never bet against an ace, and it is revealed that it is Jordan Devlin, and he, for some reason, he winks, but he has sunglasses on. I was like, whoa. I was like, why did you wink and you have sunglasses on? That was very confusing. But we do see his new name is JD McDonough, and he is coming soon. So what is your thoughts? Jordan Devlin, he was one of the best in-ring performers for NXT UK. He had a great matchup with Ilya Dragunov in a loser leaves NXT UK matchup, which he lost to Dragunov, and now he was gone from NXT UK. A lot of people assumed that he would be getting called up to the proper NXT 2.0. So now he is here. JD McDonough is born. What do you think?
You know what? Let's talk about the positive, all right? Because we're usually a positive show. That's like our brand. The main event scene needs more credible wrestlers. So that's what JD McDonough, or Wade Barrett may say, JD McDonough. You know Wade's gonna say that. McDonough. He can add credibility to a main event scene that's very, very bare bones at the moment, because we all know, as much as I want Cameron Grimes to be the one to usurp Braun Breaker, we all know that Wagner, he is nipping at the heels. It's like the John Cena 2.0 thing. I'm gonna go back to JD because that's the question you asked. I can see the main event scene, how it goes, the monster hill they're building up, just to feed to Braun Breaker. You have to get through that. So I see that after he gets through Cameron Grimes, he's gonna need someone. After Von Wagner is done, he's gonna need a new opponent, and that new opponent will be JD McDonough or Giovanni Vinci.
Just repackage everybody. That's what they're going to do with NXT 2.0. They're going to repackage the guys that they don't feel are ready for the main roster. Even someone like Jordan Devlin, who was the Irish Ace. The reason that he got that name is because he was the main champion in over-the-top wrestling and, OTT. He had classic matches with Redacted Star as well as Walter and tore it up over there before coming to NXT UK. And he's had great matches there as well, especially his latest bunch of matches with Ilya Dragunov. And he had a great match on NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver in 2020 again. Why are you doing this?
His square head is going to be on my screen, guys. I have to review this square head. I'm speaking out, for goodness sake, about his square head. It's so bloody big. All right, bring us back Finn Balor. Don't give us this Finn Balor. I got to talk about that. And another thing I have to mention very quickly while I'm in my spiel. They promised us part 2 of Nathan Fraser's backstory. Did it happen this week? Nope.
Hey, they did not say it was coming this week. They just said to be continued.
Oh, I thought. See, they confused me because I thought Sanga was going to wrestle Exion this week as well. But guess what? That's next week.
Yeah. They seem to promote things for last week that is going to happen next week and not this week, apparently. I don't know. They just set things up. We did get a part 2 of Apollo Crews writing in his journal, though.
His failed CBS pilot show. I think they're doing a failed CBS show where Apollo Crews can see into his future in the WWE, and it's very grim. So he got himself a new job where he writes in his diary and he busts crime. That's his new job.
It's CSI Nigeria.
There you go. It is CSI Nigeria. Commander Aziz.
Yes, we're talking about JD McDonough. I'm gonna be optimistic about JD McDonough. Like I said, I think he is an accomplished in-ring performer. He is SpongeBob Finn Balor. Because SpongeBob Finn Balor with that head.
SP,
and
I'm someone in the UK.
With a big head. So I can appreciate someone.
I've met him. Your head's smaller than mine. SP, someone said Tesco Finn Balor. That should be highlighted. As a person in the UK, you know what Tesco is by now. So Tesco Finn Balor.
I don't have any idea.
It's a supermarket. They call him a supermarket version of Finn Balor. You've been here for 3 months. I got you the wrong book. It should not be butts in seats. It should be English quillies or English slang words for Americans.
English, yes, give me English slang for dummies. That's what I needed. But we want to hear from all of you. What do you think about JD McDonough? Are you optimistic about his chances on the NXT 2.0 roster? Are you like Sat and you're somewhat in the middle? You're trying to be positive, but you're also making fun of the name change. At the end of the day, the JD does represent Jordan Devlin, so I can call him Jordan Devlin McDonough. Jordan Devlin McDonough.
Well,
I'm not making JDM.
Exactly.
JDM.
I'm not making fun of the name change. I'm fine with the name change. It's just I don't like his big head. He unnerves me. I look at his scrawny arms and big head. I'm like, why does your head not match your arms? You need some girth. So people, stop body shaming Adam Cole. Stop body shaming JD McDonough. He needs it.
But yes, we want to hear from all of you what you thought about the show, what you think about JD McDonough, WrestleTalk.com/support. Send us those Mocha chats, but we're gonna get into the show before we read your Mocha chats at the end of the show. Great value, Finn Balor. Yes, keep bringing in those names for JD McDonough. That is better than JD McDonough. Actually, I
JD
like
McDonough is a good name. It's like
yeah.
one of my favorite playwrights, director, Martin McDonough, the director of In Bruges. That's how I know how to say it because he's one of my favorite directors. Martin McDonough, spelled the same way. In Bruges. Have you seen In Bruges?
No.
You haven't?
No.
Well, watch it tonight with wifey. In Bruges. That's on me, bro.
No, we gotta watch Love Island. I am the new
Boo!
media forbidden door, and I gotta watch Love Island and tweet about
Your
it.
nickname. Pour in your nickname. Why are you the new forbidden door? Let people know why.
I'm the new media forbidden door because like Draymond Green came up with the term new media because he's a basketball player who after the games does his own podcast. Well, I am the leader of the new media for professional wrestling and wrestling media. I am the new media and I am the forbidden door because I work here, I work with True Hill Heat, I work with Believe in Pro Wrestling, I work with Inside the Ropes. So yes,
Grap City. You're fitting in for Grap City?
I'm gonna be on Grap City this week. I'm gonna be over on Fightful. I'm on Fightful Overbooked. So yes, I am the new media forbidden door. Hashtag it, put it in the live chat, send us in a Mocha chat, send it, put it on Twitter and tag me, the new media forbidden door. That's me.
SB, but Handsome Bob created a great nickname you can use for JD McDonough. You can call him JD Madonna, as in the singer Madonna. Just think that. Handsome Bob.
Moving on. Good job, Bob. But yes, let's do it. Let's talk about NXT 2.0 from last night on the USA Network. The show starts off from earlier today. We see Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams and Tony D'Angelo with the family arriving at the CWC for the main event for the North American Championship between Melo and Tony D. But then we go right into a match, which is a little change of pace, which we always enjoy there. Solo Sikoa versus Grayson Waller, which is two very decent performers who are over with the crowd. So before the match, Waller gets on the microphone and he says he's sick of hearing about Solo Sikoa, and he then steals Jay Lethal's nickname, calling himself the greatest first generation talent in WWE history.
There's only one. It's Jay Lethal.
Can only be one. It's Jay Lethal. Jay Lethal came up with that back in like 2003. Grayson Waller, you ain't fooling me. You ain't fooling me. Waller says that the Waller says that the fans are all solo in their lives, so that's why they like Solo Sikoa. Great line. Enjoyed that. After Grayson says he's gonna tell everyone what he thinks, Solo attacks him in the entranceway. Solo has Grayson up for a Samoan drop, but Waller grabs the turnbuckle pad to avoid it and pulls it off. This would become very important, so I need to write this down in my notes because when he did it, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be the finish." This is gonna be the finish. So then they trade control with Solo making a comeback after Waller's heat segment. Sikoa reverses the rolling stunner into a Samoan drop and heads to the top rope for the flying Solo, but Grayson rolls out of the way. He heads towards the exposed turnbuckle, and when Solo charges, he moves, so he goes into the exposed turnbuckle, leading to Grayson hitting the rolling stunner for the victory. And I thought this was a solid opener and a huge win for Grayson Waller after all the the trouble that he had with Solo Sikoa in the tag team matchup and then last week during their little promo segment. And it was a big setback for Solo Sikoa in his quest for the NXT North American title. So what did you think about this opener?
Shocking results. See, if I was a betting man, if I was betting with people's money, I would have put money on Solo Sikoa finally shutting up Grayson Waller after weeks and weeks and weeks of him trying to insert himself into Solo Sikoa's business. He goes and beats him. He fell for the oldest trick in the book. Even his dad would have fell for it as well, smacking his back and then rolling stunner. If I missed that point, I would have thought it was clean as a sheet. That to me also goes to say that they're extending this feud because I guess at the moment they don't have anything for Grayson after this, and Solo can always go for the North American title. But then again, Carmelo Hayes is kind of involved in a feud that's not his. He's a third man in a feud that's not his, so he can easily be freed up. But anyway, yeah, I don't see this ending. But Grayson Water's got a great history of winning his feuds. Ask the former LA Knight, Max Dupree, lost. Sanga, lost. So he's been winning. I mean, Andre Chase, he got his win back from him. I mean, he's the kind of guy that's been winning a lot of his feuds. But I hope Solo Sikoa wins because he's more over. He's the one they seem like they've been grooming for to be the next North American champion. I hope that this is just a filler feud for both guys until they can get close to SummerSlam time.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. It was just a loss for Solo Sikoa, so he doesn't get his North American title shot too soon. I think they're going to wait to the SummerSlam weekend or whatever the big summer show is for NXT, whether it's going to be in Cardiff, like our good brother Alex McCarthy kind of teased that they're going to have multiple shows out in the UK before Clash at the Castle in Cardiff, Wales, or if it's going to be during SummerSlam weekend. I think they wanted to prolong that, so that's why he took the loss here. And it wasn't a clean loss. It was just cleaner than a lot of the other losses that we see nowadays in NXT. But I thought it was a good match, and I think we're going to see probably a rematch between these two where Solo does win.
I don't know. I always find turnbuckle finishes very offensive. I remember when Hacksaw Jim Duggan smacked his chest in the corner in a match against Bam Bam Bigelow in King of the Ring 1983. I was like, silly sausage. You should have avoided that. Something about very stupid about that. Just you should have seen that coming. If that was me, I'll avoid that turnbuckle like the plague. But I'm not a wrestler. What do I know?
His head is invisible. He even did that during the matchup. But when you expose the turnbuckle, it's different, I guess. So that's why it didn't work out for him. We then go backstage where Mackenzie Mitchell is interviewing Tony D'Angelo and the family. He talks about Legato facing Roderick Strong and Damian Kemp later in the show, while he will beat Carmelo Hayes for the American title. Tony D also brings up Elektra Lopez. We've been asking about her. He brought her up, and he says that she's doing exactly what he wants her to do, which I don't know about you. That didn't sound right. That didn't sound too PG or sound too proper in my
I didn't
opinion.
think, you know what? That didn't cross my mind until you said that. I was very innocent thinking she's cleaning the boats or something, guys.
Rubbing the shoes. She's shining the shoes at the shop.
Mama D's recipe. She's learning that in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Hey, get in the kitchen, you gabagoo.
Gabagoose. Tony D reminds Santos that if he doesn't walk out as the NXT North American champion, there will be hell to pay. But Escobar says he understands, Don. So they seemed like on the same page for most of that, but please, Santos, you could feel the undertone of the tension coming from Santos throughout.
SP, you have to admit the acting performance by Santos Escobar is incredible. This guy, I must sing his praises because I don't know if he's got acting. Did he do telenovelas back when he was wrestling in Mexico? I don't know, but the guy for me has got chops. The way he delivers lines, the way his face, you know, it's like he does so much with so little. I can see Shawn Michaels in him because Shawn Michaels used to be good with that, where the facial expression, even though he did know to overact at times, but when he did rein it in at times, the facial acting, like, yes, boss. Like, I love that. I can see the gears spinning in his head. Santos Escobar should be on the main roster. I'm gonna continue saying this. The storyline is going how we predicted, but yeah, he's making it happen. I'm somewhat enjoying it because of him.
He's doing his best. I like Tony D. Tony D plays a good foil to Santos Escobar, but I don't know if this is leading to them breaking apart. But we're gonna get into the main event when we get to the
question. You're a new media man. I need to know why is Two Dimes still on my screen? I swear he was released. We all said he was released. Was this recorded 2 weeks ago?
Yes, they recorded 2 episodes of NXT 2 weeks ago before the release.
Disgusting. He eats up the screen with no charisma.
I'll give them credit because we're gonna get to Legado del Fantasma versus Diamond Mine. They did create a reason for him to be gone in storyline with the finish, which we'll get into. But before that tag team matchup, we had a women's tag team matchup of Katana Chance and Kaden Carter versus Yulisa Leon and Valentina Feroz. Leon,
Yulisa is my girl. When you listen to the ring, I'm like, yo, guys, dance break. Get our truth, dance break. Because I want to do this as well, because I got them hips. Yes,
your hips don't
SP.
lie.
Come on, SP. SP's been dancing with an Italian woman for a few years now. SP's got Afro-Latino blood, so he's got rhythm in his soul, rhythm in his blood. I love it, man. When you listen to dance, I'm like, I need more of her.
In my soul, Cody. Oh no. Leon tries dancing, but Kaden catches her with a drop kick early that sends her into the ropes. Both teams trade off offense back and forth until Kaden and Katana isolate Feroz. Kaden hits a super kick on Feroz, and then they hit their net breaker 450 splash combo to win. Pretty fun match, but yet it was still basic. You know, these are 4 women that are still developing in this developmental brand, but I thought it was a fun matchup for what it was, especially Kaden and Katana's finisher is always looks nice. It's like a nice twist on the Motor City Machine Gun Skull and Bones. So what did you think?
I think Katana and Kaden have fine-tuned their tag team wrestling. But I also wrote down a few things in my notes which I'll make SP3 roll his eyes and groan. So Yulisa and Valentina needs to dance with Shanky because Shanky's not dancing at the moment. Sanga.
No, don't they ain't taking Sanga's girls. Those are Sanga's girls.
Speaking of Sanga, I wrote that Sanga should pass the women around like Vince and Laurinaitis. Ain't no fun if the homies can't have none.
I'm putting them on timeout for that one. Jesus.
Shanky's like this. Elise's like this. Pass them homies around.
But I do want to say I do want Sanka and Shanky to be a team so we could have the skyscraping Shanky and Sanka the Thunder. That's like the skyscraping Thunder. That's a great nickname. That's a great tag team name.
That is a great tag team name, and then they can pass it to the homie Fyre afterwards, and that'd be a great team. Ain't no fun. I can't do the rest of the song because we don't have copyrights, but still, yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna sing it too well. Backstage, we see Wes Lee. He's thinking to himself, and he will address the NXT universe next. And we got that promo right after that. He made his entrance, looking quite conflicted. And Wes thanks the fans and appreciates the love they give him each and every week. CWC starts chanting, "You deserve it. You deserve it." Lee says he needs it after the past 3 months he's had. Wes says he's gone from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows. He went from the 2-time NXT Tag Team Champion, reigning supreme with his best friend and brother, to having the world explode right under their feet. Wes is almost in tears at this point, and he says he wears his tears proudly. Wes says he's found pain and anger to the point of not acting like himself, and he apologizes to the fans for that. He talks about proving himself and prove that Wes Lee could stand on his own 2 feet. And he tried to prove that against Zion Quinn and Sanga. But before he could continue, out comes our boy, Trick Williams. He comes out to interrupt. Trick says maybe the truth is he left his brother behind, or his brother left him behind. Maybe his boy is gone because he just wanted to leave him behind and didn't want to be with Wes Lee anymore. Wes responds by saying he has no idea what he did for his brother and what he did, what they did together and what they accomplished. Lee says Trick can never understand that because he always plays second fiddle to his homeboy. Wes says for all the hype he throws at Mello, he wonders if he has any left for himself, and Lee challenges Trick to get into the ring and prove it. Trick calls Wes Afro Thunder, and then says they work on his time, and Williams says he will do like all of his friends and just leave. I thought that this was a nice, effective way to kind of kickstart a feud, give Trick Williams kind of his first feud on his own because he came out to his own music. This is not him latching on to Mello and being part of Mello's feud. This is him starting a whole new feud on his own against Wes Lee. And I like the little juxtaposition between them with Trick having his best friend that he started in NXT 2.0 with, while Wes Lee hasn't. But I thought that this was a very convoluted way to talk about something that they can't talk about, which is Nash Carter being released. Yes, him, best friend, brother, like all of this.
That guy.
To not acknowledge who's missing from this, but it was a little bit of realism in my NXT storyline. So I gotta hand it to him. This was probably the best segment of the night for me.
You know, it's one of those things where SP3 would have said, we wish they would have done this from the beginning, because we knew Wes Lee was frustrated, it was bubbling, but it came to the point because they couldn't address things. They're like, why is he miserable? And when he started saying all these things, oh yeah, crap, he was 2 times champion. And next thing you know, storyline purposes, you're not champion anymore. Keep it moving. So first of all, shout out to Wes Lee's t-shirt. That t-shirt is cool. I want that t-shirt. Very 90s, very New Jack Swing. They broke kayfabe, but the thing that kind of annoyed me a bit, even though when Wes Lee cut the promo, it didn't feel like a promo. It felt real. It felt like months of frustration he could finally let out. Yeah. But Michael Hickenbottom's got a trope. It's called teary-eyed babyface promo. And we all know how great that did for Cameron Grimes, right? I mean, connect the dots in my head. Fiery babyface promos. Oh, sorry, teary-eyed babyface promos. The only thing I was missing was Wes Lee talking about his father or his mother or someone like that, and go,
or losing his smile.
Yeah,
that's why Michael Hickenbottom loves those teary-eyed promos, because he lost his smile one day.
Exactly. So Trick Williams said, my brother, my brother left me. So yeah, I'm happy we finally got this. And you're right, this is Trick's first feud without Carmelo Hayes. He came out with new music. If it was Jim Johnson running the joint, he would have came out to Carmelo's old theme, because that's what Jim used to do. He's like, you're Jim Neidhart. You come out to the Hart Foundation theme, something like that. But yeah, we've seen Trick wrestle. He's still kicky and punchy in the ring. He's introducing new moves. One day we hit the Harlem side kick to the face like he's meant to. But yeah, Wes Lee's a great person to, I guess, camouflage the rookiness of Trick at the moment. And it's, you know what, it's something new, something fresh. We didn't see it coming. I mean, Exion can move on to Sanga, potentially beat him. There's no offense to Sanga. He seems like a friendly jobber at the moment. But yeah, I'm excited as you are.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be maybe a short-term feud that they pay off on television, and it's probably going to lead to Wes Lee versus Carmelo Hayes for the North American Championship. And I'm just like, yes, give me that. Give me that. If they don't want to go directly to Solo Sikoa beating Carmelo Hayes for this North American Championship, like we've been calling for the last couple of months, I think the best way to keep him busy is to transition, Wes Lee getting a big win over Trick Williams and then getting a shot at the North American title against Carmelo Hayes.
You're smart. You think like I don't. I'm just like, where's this guy? I wonder what is this for? Yeah, boss, what is this for? And you're like, you start he start connecting them dots. Like my head, connecting them dots, and he's like, that's gonna lead to, that's good. They got another special coming up. They got, I bet say Vengeance Day that happened already. That's like Valentine's Day. Yeah. They got another IP.
We got Great American Bash in 2 weeks. They need more matches for that. They only have, I think, 2 matches now. They got, the number 1 contender that we're going to talk about, as well as the NXT Championship matchup between Braun Breaker and Cameron Grimes. So they need more matches. Why not?
We need more matches. Clap, 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 clap. Moving on swiftly.
Backstage, speaking of a match or a feud that might get paid off in 2 weeks at Great American Bash, we go backstage to one of our favorite people on this show, Sat, which is, of course, Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton has a vignette, and she discusses Wendy Choo. She talks about the way that she dresses and carries herself, and then look how frumpy dresses with all those onesies. Tiffany asks if Choo even knows how a Jim looks, or if she has an imaginary friend named Jim. Stratton is pissed at Wendy for screwing her last week in her match against Fallon Henley and tells the Peter Pan reject to stay away from her. Tiffany says since she loves sleeping so much, she will put her to sleep for good. And then she ends the promo by saying, we're done here. Toodles. I love Tiffany Stratton. Give me Tiffany Stratton promos every single week. This girl gets it.
I'm petitioning that SP3 puts on a blonde wig and starts writing Tiffany Stratton promos instead of S-P-Gacy promos. So if Go Away Heat, you've got hilarious. Because I was gonna do it, but I thought it was too much. That's your thing. I want it to be your thing. It's a nice thing you got going on for the wrong person. Make it more entertaining with Tiffany. Ew. Listen. Go to Amazon, get a blonde wig, or your partner may have a blonde wig somewhere for Halloween or something like that from years ago, whatever.
Me and my partner were Shawn Michaels and Sensational Sherry last year, so I do have a blonde wig that I can get to.
It looks even more terrible than her weave, so you can make it work.
Probably is. It probably is. I can make it work, ladies and gentlemen. Let us know. Send us some Mochachats. If you guys send us enough Mochachats, I will do it. And I will also petition to NXT. I will tag NXT on Twitter and tell them, give me more Tiffany Stratton promos. The only reason that I do Joe Gacy promos is because he gets a promo every week. Tiffany Stratton doesn't. We need more Tiffany Stratton promos, and therefore I will do Tiffany Stratton promos with a blonde wig. I promise.
Also not there yet.
If we get Mochachats.
We're not there yet. Homegirl's trying to come back next week. It's a bit awkward. You know, when you got a new fave right now and then the old fave is trying to come back from a knee injury, like, boo, we don't care about you anymore. We're in the Tiffany Stratton train right now. Ew.
You want that old thing back? Next, we had the tag team match we were talking about earlier. Roderick Strong and Damian Kemp versus Legado del Fantasma. Roddy tags in on Damian Kemp early on, who gets beat on the ground by Del Toro. So Strong has to slap Kemp some sense into him to fire him up. Does Roderick Strong have to slap a biscuit? Basically, he starts busting.
I love this one.
Kemp starts busting out suplexes on both members of Legado del Fantasma. The finish comes when the referee is slightly distracted and Two Dimes accidentally trips Del Toro with the crowbar, causing Roddy Strong to hit the rising knee strike on Del Toro for the win. This was short yet good action. All four guys are very good in the ring. Even Damian Kemp, he has a bunch of potential. And then post-match, we got Two Dimes and Stacks arguing with Del Toro and Wilde about whose fault the loss was. But this is the thing, Sat. This is the thing I was talking about earlier. Two Dimes costing him the win, and the look that Stacks gave him, they can use that as the reason why Two Dimes is now fired from the family.
And this is why Michael Hickenbottom is Book of the Year. I got the image. I'll send it to you guys to put in the backhand because I legit believe that because HBK blocks people say negative things. I love you, HBK. Your booking is incredible. It's no sarcasm from me. So, Damon Kemp got pimp slapped. But I feel like this match was a vehicle to showcase what he can do in the ring. He has slightly more charisma than his brother, who got no charisma doing this with an Olympic gold medal. Roddy was roddying up. Gunshot chops and backbreakers. And also, Damon Kemp did a nice elevated scoop slam. He just threw a mofo. And also, Roderick Strong won with a flying knee. Roddy wins. 2022 is no longer the year where we say, when has Roderick Strong won? He won this week. And Damon Kemp wins as well.
He still hasn't won a singles match on the show, but he won a tag match. He's won a match. Damon Kemp finally won a match. Go Diamond Mine. The Creed brothers need to know their role and shut their face. I'm tired of disrespect. I'm tired. Creed brothers have a lot more wins in 2022.
Where did they come from? They're a bunch of country bumpkins, amateur wrestling, and then he took them out of obscurity. Who were they? They're a pair of fake security guards.
No. Let's be real. Let's be real. Stokely Hathaway pulled them out of obscurity.
Then who pulled Stokely out of obscurity? Roderick Strong did. What was he doing? Sitting in catering after Veer and Sango went their separate ways. My guy was doing nothing.
No. Stokely pulled Roddy. Roddy would quit the job. He quit the brand.
Yeah, he quit. And then one day he went, "Hey, son, I see you eating catering. You seem kind of fly. My wife needs something.
Malcolm
and my
was on
bald-headed
TV.
Brazilian friend needs something."
He was on TV with Tyler Rust.
Yeah, and then that was going nowhere either. My guy couldn't do nothing. He goes, "I'll take your Rust friend as well, sure. Yeah, he can join the group. Hey, Hachi man, take these guys." And what happened?
That's a great shout here. I will say that's a great shout by A-Shot, Head Booker Kid, HBK. That's a great shout. Great comment. That might be the best comment that I see. And he also put SP Stratton. Yes. Sending those Mochachats.
Oh, we have now free. We got free.
There you go. Backstage, Mackenzie interviews Giovanni Vinci, and Giovanni says he put Braun Breaker and Carmelo Hayes on notice, and he did it in style. And this, of course, you hear the word style, and you think one person. Well, you don't think him, but he thinks it. Ikemen comes in, and who's been missing for weeks since Von Wagner threw him in the crowd. Says that he has style, but does he have style strong? We will find out, apparently. So I think we're gonna get Giovanni Vinci versus Ikemen Jiro now.
Okay, Dan, Mayor Painesville, I know in the chat. Please send us a mocha chat about your honest opinion about Giovanni Vinci, because I know it will be funny, entertaining, maybe heartbreaking, but I know you got something on your mind. I want to use this opportunity. I want to be your voice. Voice your opinion. How do you feel that this guy, born in some part of Italy, but didn't really grow up there, is portrayed as an Italian? It hurts your soul. It burns your inside. Mayor Painesville, I want to hear from you. You know what? It's a good first feud. Ikemen Jiro's doing nothing. Vinci, Giovanni can just kick his arse, kick his ace, and move on and finally challenge Braun Breaker. We need more people challenging Braun Breaker. It comes to the point where the NXT title feels like a mid-card title because it never finishes the show anymore. It is just barely there. I feel like they have to meet the quota. Braun has to be on screen. Let him do a little pep talk to Cam. Like, that's what we're getting. There's no heat, behind the title. What's going on with the NXT title?
It seems secondary to the A champion, which is the North American title. But we got somebody who has put in his stake, who has staked his claim to the NXT championship. And of course, I'm talking about former Intercontinental and US champion Apollo Crews. And he had another vignette where he's writing in his journal, or as Seth said, his diary again, about being fearless. Apollo sees a guy who says, I wouldn't go down there if I was you. And he sees down the alley 3 black men are jumping 1 white man. Racism. So Cruz dreams about beating the black men up and saving the white man, and then back in reality,
he ended racism. Apollo ended racism.
Yes, Apollo ended racism. Apollo Crews is the next Cody Devontae Rose. He solved racism.
He's the reverse Cody. He's
Cody.
an interracial. He's got biracial kids in the interracial. So yeah, he did end it.
There you go.
In Nigeria.
Back in reality, which is CSI Nigeria, Apollo goes down the alley to do it in real life. I broke you with CSI Nigeria. It does look like
don't ask me for response. You've done it.
The cinematography looks like CSI. It looks like CSI.
The flashback images. You know what? Don't ask me, because write it out. CSI Nigeria. That is a strong point. That is, you know what? CSI Lagos, because they do cities, so I'll give it to you. CSI Lagos.
Thank you. No one else would have knew a city in Nigeria. That's why I appreciate you, Zach. I appreciate you. But yes, I can't wait for the next episode of CSI. What was
Lagos.
it? Lagos.
I'm teaching him stuff, guys. I love it. That's my brother right there. He's willing to learn. That's the great thing about it. He's like, it's no Legos like blockhead. It's Lagos. 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 CSI, you need to go
Let's
there.
go.
Take. Yeah, you know what? Take the family there. You like it. The nice beaches and stuff like that. You enjoy it. Go, to the root of thing. The motherland.
I don't know if I enjoy it by how Apollo Crews is making it look.
Oh, right.
It's people getting jumped in the streets, man. It's tough out here. But thankfully, Apollo Crews is here.
No, but okay, all right. I will say something. It's like a couple of weeks ago, we were super excited that Apollo Crews is back. Why were we excited? Because he did a great Fyre promo, then he had a match. Since then, Jeremy Borash or Michael Hickenbottom is like, we need to do more. We need to flesh out his motivation. His motivation was clear in that one promo. If he didn't do that one promo, sure, why not? But he did a great promo, but there's been no follow-up. And each week when we do CSI Lagos, we're like, what is this? Is he going to come back eventually? Is he going to do a thing when he goes to each town and he just does this thing where he's like, I'm going to beat up someone today. I'm going to beat up. No, go back in the ring. Beat up Braun Breaker. He's lacking in opponents. I'm going to say this every week. Braun Breaker needs opponents. A kid's missing. Tiffany Stratton needs better weave. And X-Young Queen is mind his own business.
There we go. The consistent bits and tropes of the NXT 2.0 review here on WrestleTalk Podcast YouTube channel. Back in the arena, back in real life, Toxic Attraction, they make their entrance. Mandy gets on the mic and says that Roxanne Perez has been riding on her high horse lately, ever since winning the Women's Breakout Tournament. Gigi says when the pressure is really on, she will realize that she's not on their level. JC Jane says that ask Cora Jade how it is to fold under the pressure. She says she needs to get back on those bus rides, and Perez loves so much, back to her hometown to put up pictures of real stars like Toxic Attraction. Rose says if she sticks around, her dreams will become nightmares and it's gonna get real ugly. This brings out Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade to interrupt. Roxanne says she's on top of the world. Living out your dreams when you do it is better when you do it together, talking about her and Cora Jade. And after winning last week in the 6-woman tag team matchup, Roxanne says as much as she wants to become NXT Women's Champion, and she will become NXT Women's Champion, she says she also wants to become NXT Women's Tag Team Champions with her best friend Cora, which was called by this guy here. This brings out Kaden Carter and Katana Chance to say that the line for a title shot starts behind them. And they say Carter and Chance, Cora and Roxanne said that Carter and Chance aren't, first Carter and Chance said they aren't done yet. And Cora says they saw it in your house and they looked pretty done there.
That delivery, right? We make fun of her. Listen, SP3 talks about her in-ring skill. What she lacks in in-ring skill, she makes up in vocal delivery. There's a reason why Darby Allin is still witness protection on social media. She'll flame you. She'll flame you hard. You look done to me.
Just ask Darby Allin. She got them bars. This leads to a brawl between the baby faces, and the officials come out to separate everyone. I will say, Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez, they just served up Cora Kaden and Katana with those lines. Like, yeah, how many times have they lost? They've lost so many times, either getting close to the titles or losing in title matches. How dare they try to come out and try to jump the line or say the line starts behind them? Y'all lost. Y'all get to the back of the line. Y'all not the front of the line anymore. Someone called your number. You filled out the application and the application was wrong. So you had to go to the back of the line. It's like being at a DMV for these title shots. It is being like a DMV because everybody gets the NXT Women's Tag Team titles. So, but you got to get to the back of the line now.
Not passed around like Laura Knight is a Vince McMahon. Ay. Boy, bueno, muy loco. So, I'm liking Katana and Kaden leaning more towards the heel side. I feel like they've done this before when expressing their frustration with the lack of opportunity. And the fact in the earlier match, they showed some mean streak. And then now doing this promo, they're saying they're tired of makeshift tag teams. And Roxanne Perez, no. Stay away from Cora Hogan. She's just seeping her claws into her. She was manipulating poor naive Roxanne, because we all see how this is gonna go. Potentially, Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade wins it, but Cora wins it because Roxanne won. Roxanne is the nucleus, and as soon as they lose the title, Cora's gonna sick her in the face and say that you were the weak link all along, and now I want to be by myself because I'm the true star. I already see where the feud's going. The tag titles is Miss Elizabeth. This title is gonna split them up. Their best friendship, it's been telegraphed. I can smell it. I smell deceit. I smell backstabbing happening. And Roxanne, go for the title. It's right there. Now, who's going to challenge Mandy? I feel like I'd be saying this every month. Who is going to dethrone Mandy Rose?
I know who it is.
Is it Indy Hartwell?
No, it's Donald Rump. It's Donald Rump. It's Booty Giuliani.
Oh,
she's coming back.
We're no.
But we got a few
Stop
other
thinking so much, SP. Think like me, as in don't think at all.
Well, we gotta talk about. Okay, I'm gonna talk about all of these segments in one. There was a couple of backstage segments around the next matchup. First, we had a backstage promo with Mackenzie interviewing Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. Melo says that to Trick, how he asks him how he feels after putting Wes Lee in his place, and Trick says he feels great. Hayes says he will take care of business tonight, and it doesn't matter if it's 2 stacks, 2 dimes, Legato, El Dorado. Business is getting handled. That's what it is, and that's all it's gonna be. Back from commercial, we get Mackenzie interviewing Indy Hartwell. Kiana James interrupts to ask why we are wasting time on Indy. James says that Indy lacks the mental fortitude to stand on her own, and Hartwell says no one cares about her opinion, so she challenges James to a match for next week. Kiana says get ready for another failure, and Indy says you sound real smart, but this is NXT 2.0 and no one likes a biscuit.
Listen, Kiana James, she seems to be doing well in her internship in the Alexander York Foundation. Losing adds to more points because that's all they ever did in WCW. It's kind of rich coming from her. She hasn't really done much, and she's trying to come for a former tag team champion, a kind of a veteran in that women's division, Indy Hartwell, and she's bloody tall as well. I'm a bit disappointed because I wanted Indy Hartwell to be the one to beat Mandy. It's just to say a thank you for her for being one half of carrying a great storyline that got ended because of budget cuts. She was a great character, a great fixture. Every week she did it with the promos. She had a best friend, a tag team partner. She made everything hit. So I wanted Michael Hickenbottom to reward her, but like you said, Nikita Lyons is potentially going to win an NXT title. Oh well, Kiana James feud. I hope Indy wins. I hope it's not like a mini feud. Please no.
I mean, Indy Hartwell, I think, is at the point where she's ready to be called up. More than how you debated me about Wendy Choo last week. I feel Indy Hartwell is more ready because they've kind of expended on everything she can do. Indy Hartwell is more ready for the main
Hear me out. This is my go-to thing. Indy Hartwell with R-Truth. Dance break.
Moving on. Earlier today, we saw Thea Hale arriving at the Chase U dorm where she's rooming with Brody Haywood. Thea is a complete slob who just throws her clothes all around after learning that they have co-ed dorms because she's rooming with Brody Haywood. Hale says they will be roomies and best friends, and she asks Brody if he is hungry, and Haywood was sweating this entire time. So I don't know what he was doing before Hale got to the he was looking at his poster on the wall and he was sweating all around his neck. I was like, I had to point that out. But hey, they have co-ed dorms. This is like MTV Undressed.
If this was WrestleTalk After Dark, I'll be saying a lot more salacious stuff. Because this is a PG show, this is the only thing I have to say. Bodie is like a young Bo Dallas. That's all I have to say.
I do get Bo Dallas vibes. A blonde Bo Dallas, yeah.
And I miss Bo Dallas. They dropped the ball on that guy. He had potential. You know what? He's with a good friend, Miss Morgan. If you're nasty.
He's good with Miss Morgan.
He's living life.
And then finally, we see another vignette from Nikita Lyons hyping her return, and we see her training. And they say she's given the ladies of NXT a 7-day notice, and Lyon returns next week. Next
That's
week,
quick.
she's coming back. Booty
That's quick.
Giuliani is coming back.
That's quick.
Nikita with 3 Ks.
That's quick. Was she ever that injured, or was it because specific thing happened in her political views?
No, the injury happened before the political views came out.
Them splits better not be splitting because them legs, it looks a bit shoddy. Ask Roddy.
Yeah, she better find a new finisher. Just do the roundhouse kick and just pin somebody. Don't do the splits anymore.
Isn't the splits like the coup de grace? It's meant to be like the people's elbow. It's just kind of like a cherry on top. So you can stop using the cherry. We're fine with the whipped cream. That's my analogy.
Whipped cream's fine. Then the matchup that I said was in the middle of all those backstage segments. We had Cameron Grimes versus Idris Enofe. This is following up from last week's tough love that he gave Idris and Malik Blade after their NXT tag team title match. Both men traded pinfall attempts and show off their athleticism early on. Enofe hits that beautiful drop kick on Grimes, and he shows more aggression after the tough love from last week. Grimes hits a Hurricane Rana, the penalty kick, and then a cross body for 2. Cameron is also showing more aggression, kind of believing his own hype, taking his own advice. But Enofe tells him to bring it on. They start trading strikes, ending with Idris hitting a rising knee strike off the bottom rope. Enofe busts out a cool tope con hilo on Cameron to the floor. Grimes moves out of the way, though, of a 450 attempt. He hits a pendulum Uranagi, and then he follows up with the cave-in for the win. I thought that this was a really good, 5 to 6 minute sprint. Both guys that got to show off their skill and athleticism in the ring. And Cameron Grimes, he's another one that just is ready for the main roster. So if like we said last week, they kind of had him lean towards being a heel, but this week he leaned back into more of a babyface role. But if they're not going to have him win the title or turn heel, yes, just put him up on the main roster because this guy always delivers in the ring. Post-match, Grimes gives Idris another pep talk, and he shakes both his and Blade's hand. After that, later on in the night, we get a backstage segment where Braun Breaker approaches Cameron Grimes and tells him that he has a lot of heart. Braun says that's the Cameron Grimes he's looking forward to facing at Great American Bash, and Grimes says he doesn't think so because if this Cameron Grimes shows up, he's leaving with the NXT Championship. Cameron Grimes, for all we said about him versus Carmelo Hayes not sounding, the best Cameron Grimes, he sounds so much better going against Braun Breaker.
110%. He had an Adam Cole energy. He was just flaming him, exposing him for what it is. Did you say tope con carne, like a chili con carne, or the
tope con hilo?
Close enough. Would you say this was Idris Enofe's best match of his career thus far?
Yeah, his best singles match for sure.
Yeah, I think that's where they trusted him more than Malik Blade. No offense to Malik Blade, you sent him fall off the top rope, so they went with Idris Enofe, who seemed to be more of a safe hand. The match was good. It kind of reminded people, including myself, that Idris Enofe, he's got a lot of potential. Another 6 months, you can heat him up. Although I do like his tag team with Malik, all they need is direction. They've got the moves, they've got the charisma. They just need a tag team name, similar gears, and the motivation. Where's your motivation as a team? Why should we care? That's what's missing. It's just a tag team, or they need to be attached to a wrestler. I feel like they either give him a gimmick or something that Sorry, my face is itching. Just in case you're thinking, why is he touching his nose a lot? Touching my nose. Cameron Grimes, a new team, or give him a gimmick. But either way, it showed why Idris Enofe is one of the best young up-and-comers. It showed why Cameron Grimes is one of the best overall wrestlers in WWE. Should be in the main roster. The main roster is lacking. I mean, if you got Theory as your young boy at the moment, oh man, bring on more young guys. Cameron Grimes is that guy. So yeah, I enjoyed the match, and I enjoyed him flaming Braun Breaker. No offense, I am still a Braun Breaker fan, but how he's been booked I feel like he might potentially be the worst NXT champion based on how he's been booked, the quality. Listen, when's the last time you were hyped about Bron Breakker, reign, feud? I can't wait next week. I know this is not NXT Black and Gold because we're trying to be positive, but even in the new 2.0, Ciampa made it feel like something. Dolph Ziggler, who people have been flaming him for the last few years, made it feel like something, and then it goes back to Bron Breakker, and you're like, oh, Bron's here this week. Yeah, he hasn't walked out into his car again. Yeah. Do you know what I mean, SP? In that regards, since 2.0 started in a short lineage, he's not the most exciting champion of the three we had, which is Ciampa, Ziggler, and himself.
It's only been 3. And he's been 2 of the he's been 4 championships, and he's been 2 of the 4.
It's the Joe Gacy effect. Coming out of it did not look good. He's still rehabilitating.
I will not hear this Joe Gacy slander. It's not his fault that Bron Breakker doesn't have a lot to him. He doesn't have a lot to him. He's a guy
and is exposing
who has
him
this hit factor and has this aura to him, but on the mic, he's still getting his feet wet. He's still green.
He's better than his father. I'll give him that. He's better than Rick Steiner. I'll give him that. But he's getting close to Scott Steiner level. He just needs to amp up the intensity and be more intelligible.
Well, in a match I don't want to say much about, we had Von Wagner versus
Yawn.
Jensen. Jan Wagner versus Brooks Jensen. I think Tempest put it right. There probably isn't a better combination to make no one interested in than Von Wagner versus Brooks Jensen. Jensen hits an early spinning heel kick to show something new, but Wagner attacks his injured masturbation hand. Jensen makes a brief comeback, but Wagner catches him off the top rope, dropping him on the injured hand. Von then hits his AA variant for the win. This was bland. This was lame. This was a basic developmental match. And then post-match, Mr. Stone and Sophia Cromwell come out to celebrate with Wagner, while Briggs and Henley come out to console Jensen.
I believe the Jan Wagner, or Von, if that's your government name, he comes across as a believable monster. He comes across as someone's too stupid to know how dangerous he is. Brooks Jensen, I call him Bob McGillicuddy. He's the son of Bob Buchanan, and he kind of looks a bit like Michael McGillicuddy, circa NXT. So put that two together, you get the blandest of blands. I like McGillicuddy, Curtis Axel, so that's not this on him. Brooks Jensen's not it. He's dressed like a discount smoking gun. He looks like Billy Gunn before the vitamins. He is not it. I'm sorry. Put him with Gacy. He's the one that'll suit more being with Gacy. His dad was easily, led in a cult, is in the blood. He was easily led into being a truth commission. He was easily led by Big Boss Man. It's in the blood. Let him be led in by Joe Gacy. Von Wagner.
You said the word. You said his name. So we're going right into it. It's time. It's S-P-Gacy time. Love is blind. The grass is greener on the other side. Back in a dark room backstage, it's Joe Gacy and the Dyad. Ready? Are you ready? You ready for this?
Yeah. No. yeah, I'm ready.
I offered each one of you purpose, and you have surrendered yourself to me. You left everything you once known behind. Your home, your family, all aspects were laid to rest in a realm where everything was measured by fame and championships. When you discovered that it was all just a pipe dream, you found yourself questioning your own abilities. You were planning on packing and going home, but I was there for you. I was the one who showed you the light that is inside of you. You were reborn, ready to take on the world. And you no longer look at yourselves the same. You may have tasted gold before, but without tension, gold is flavorless. When you return to that same glory, the fruit of your labor will be delicious. because it will be cultivated by an unmatched strength. Now that you two have come together under my guidance. Love is blind. The grass is greener on the other side. Okay, but this was the biggest red herring that he was talking to the Grizzled Young Veterans. They tasted gold before the NXT UK Tag Team Championships. They were thinking about leaving and packing home. You saw the social media posts by James Drake and Zach Gibson, but it was Joe Gacy that kept them here. How dare you try to slander Joe Gacy? All he does is good for other people. He saved us from losing the Grizzled Young Druids.
I got a surprise for you. Continue talking for a few seconds. I'm gonna step out the room and I'm gonna grab something and come back. Do you want to be surprised?
Sure, go for it.
Good. Yeah. I'll be back, guys. Legit.
But
it's a great surprise. You're gonna see it.
Hey, all I know is that Joe Gacy is talking to Zach Gibson and James Drake. I think this was the biggest clue that we got. Like everything that he said, if you really read between the lines of everything, it was a very much a foreshadowing that these two are going to be revealed as Zach Gibson and James Drake. You can let us know what you guys think. WrestleTalk.com/support. Do you think they're going to be revealed as the Grizzled Young Druids?
It's been weeks. I've been trying to hide from this, but S-P-Gacy, you're right. Your way of thinking is correct. I've been wrong the whole time. I am officially a dyad. Yes, guys, it's me. It was me all along. It was me, Gacy. It was me, SP, all along.
This is the greatest moment in our history doing this podcast. You have come to the other side. You realize that the grass is greener on the other side.
I'm with you, man. Like you know, I was trying to hide it, but I go to sleep every night. My bathrobe, I've had this for years, was calling me. It said, "It's your calling." Do not ignore what he's saying. You've been preaching, and now I'm converted. Love is indeed blind. Grass is indeed greener on the other side. S-P-Gacy, I'm with you. You are the spiritual king. You're the king ding-a-ling. That's why I bought you your birthday present, because I do believe in you. I do. Yes, sir. I serve thee.
You realize I brought you to the light. You have come under my guidance. S-P-Gacy as his first member of the dyad. Thank you, Sat. Thank you, Sat Gibson. Sat Gibson, we appreciate you and we welcome you into the dyad.
Thank you, sir. Ooh, this is warm. I'm in. I'm in.
Oh my god, that was great. You need to bring that every week. When I put up the graphic, it gives you enough time to put on the.
You know what? When you're cutting the promo, I went to myself, wait, I actually have a bathrobe that actually looks like it. So I didn't want to leave in the middle of cutting the promo. You're like, oh, is he gonna come back? So it was awkward. Also, at one point, I tied my bottoms to this. So it took me a long time to get out of it. So I was like, oh man, bless SP. He's trying to like kill time. And I'm like caught up. I legit was like trying to run and I was caught up with this. I was like, oh no. But yeah, I'm in, man. I'm all in. I'm a dyad, man. I'm a dyad. S-P-Gacy, you are the way. I follow you.
We welcome you into the dyad, Grizzled Young Sat.
Yes.
That was great. That was great. Yes. And I think someone put in the chat, yes, King of the North says, welcome to the WrestleTalk monthly highlight montage. Yes, that has to be a part of it. Mods, please make it sure it's a part of it. Alba Fyre versus Lash Legend was next. Oh, I still can't get over that. Legend used her strength to her advantage throughout, while Fyre used speed and her in-ring expertise. Alba avoided a corner pump kick and hit the firebomb before heading to the top rope for the swanton, but Lash moved and grabbed her back to hit Fyre in the throat for the DQ. This was just an angle. This wasn't much of a match at all, and it wasn't very good for how it lasted.
You know what? I feel like this has been a recurring theme since Kaylee Ray became Alba Fyre. I wrote in my notes, which me and you've talked about. I've all the revamps they've had in NXT 2.0. For me, Kaylee Ray's been the best because before that, if someone asked me, "Oh, so what's a Kaylee Ray?" She's a wrestler from Scotland and she's had a title for a long time. She wrestles really good. Okay, but if you ask me what's Alba Fyre, she's a fire pervert. So, like there's something there. Like she's obsessed with fire. Her hair looks great. Her presentation has improved drastically. She's got, mystical music and, the bats on fire. Unfortunately, she was silly enough not to use it first. And now we may get a baseball bat on the pole match between Alba Fyre and Lash Legend because she's a basketball player and she's tall. She's got an advantage. Oh, how about that?
Booking like God. Russo. An on a pole match. That's what Sat's trying to get you excited for this feud on. I don't understand why this feud needed more than one match, but here we are. And Sat just came up with a good idea. I will say that's probably where they're going with this. And then finally, we got our main event for the North American Championship. Carmelo Hayes with Trick Williams versus Tony D'Angelo with Stacks, Two Dimes, and Legado del Fantasma. Last call for Mochachats, WrestleTalk.com/support. Let us know what you thought about the newest member of the Dyad, as well as the rest of this show. Carmelo played the babyface in this one for the most part because he's the more athletic of the two who was using high-flying moves. D'Angelo having the numbers advantage as well with the entire family at ringside. At one point, they got on the apron, and Trick got on the apron on the other side, and he brought his ass right back down. When the rest of the family got on the apron, he was like, "Nah, I'm good. Nah, you good. You good on your own, Carmelo." Melo looked on the verge of winning when Tony D pulled out a double leg takedown and then rolled through into an overhead suplex. That was actually the most impressive thing he did in this matchup.
Right.
But this was more about the whole family storyline. Like you said earlier, Carmelo Hayes is kind of like the third party, the third wheel in this story because the finish saw with two Stacks distracted the referee, and then Santos Escobar had his brass knuckles. Tony D told him and demanded him to pass it to him, but instead he passed it to Melo, and Melo blasts D'Angelo with the brass knuckles to get the win and to retain the North American Championship. This was a decent enough match that really just progressed the D'Angelo family storyline in an interesting way, but it wasn't really about Carmelo Hayes having one of his great matches here.
Santos turned on Tony. I did not see that coming at all. He trusted him with a knuckle duster not to betray him. I did not see that at all. Okay, here's an issue I slightly have with Tony D. I love me some Tony D, but for a guy that's meant to be scary, he comes across very cartoony. I think it's because we've got a head of the table that plays a similar character, but more threatening. He looks like he's going to be the Dawn of the 24/7 division. No offense. And also, another thing I've noticed, the Performance Center teaches you basic wrestling moves. I guess it's up to you if you want to expand upon it. Besides that cool suplex he did, which was like a reverse Chaos Theory or reverse Gableplex, besides the suplexes, he's very basic in the ring, Tony D'Angelo. For a guy that's been wrestling for as long as he has, which is kind of same as like Enofe and Malik Blade and Solo Sikoa. If no offense, Solo Sikoa comes from a prestigious family. Grayson Waller, I don't know. Of all the guys that's getting pushed right now, he's the one that has the least exciting moves. He's all character, I guess. Hey, but when you take away the taunting, the character aspect, and when he has to wrestle, he does okay, but he doesn't blow me away. And I want him to do more. And I want the character to be vicious because he comes across very cartoony. Santos for me is, because I've been speaking Sunshine's how Santos for me is the real deal. It seems like doing a feud with this guy's like a comedy feud, no offense. It's kind of like with R-Truth to be like, I owe you some money. I got you some biscuits. I got you some fish. I know you like fish. Like, I don't see him being, he's not a threat. I can't envision him being, he needs to be saying vicious. Even when he attacked Pete Dunne, I was like, it's like a schoolyard bully kind of thing, like pissed in your cornflakes. It's not really threatening to me. It needs to be more. It's not very vicious to me. Kind of like a gabagoo.
Even when he was introduced to NXT 2.0, he was more of the character guy. In a way, the best comparison that I can give him is he's Elias Sampson in NXT. I think he's more of a guy that's going to translate better on the main roster than he ever will in NXT 2.0, especially when when he's in the same class as Carmelo Hayes and Grayson Waller and Solo Sikoa, who are all delivering good to great matches in the ring. He's going to look like the guy that has the least amount of skills in the ring. Even someone like Braun Breaker, who you said most of your criticism is about his character and his promo work. It's not him in the ring. Him in the ring, despite being green and making mistakes from time to time, he has that intensity in the ring that makes up for that, and D'Angelo doesn't.
Yeah, but besides that, Carmelo Hayes, he was the highlight of the match, and like we mentioned, a very cool suplex by Tony D. But yeah, it was more of an angle. I hope next week it finally comes to a head. We finally know where Electra is. I'm worried if it's Vince Russo booking this, it would be like Team Canada and Misfit in Action, where Electra turns on Legado and sides with the family. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope the reason why we haven't seen her is like she's gonna be a fake camera woman or something like that, and she chucks the nuts to give them.
I hope not. I hope it's something at least a little interesting. But we gotta get to the Mochachats. But before we do that, Sat, let's put our thumbs in the middle. Thumbs in the middle for this episode of NXT 2.0 in 3, 2, 1. Once again, 2 weeks in a row. I'm putting it straight in the middle. This was one of their bang average shows. I really liked Enofe and Cameron Grimes. I liked the story going on with the D'Angelo family and the fact that it was progressed, even though it was progressed in the most obvious way possible. I like Joe Gacy, of course, and the dyad, and you being a member of the dyad, I'm sure you agree, but it wasn't a thumbs down show. It wasn't a thumbs up show. It was just right bang average.
I'm with you on that. There was a couple of highlights, but it was just an average show where it didn't offend, but it didn't excite. If Apollo Crews was wrestling, who knows? The thumbs could have probably went up, but there wasn't enough of that at all. So yeah, it's now the portion that we've all been waiting for. We actually have enough Mochachats to actually make it as a segment. My goodness, it's been weeks of droughts. And also, guys, just to remind you, I'm saving the best for last. The mod roll call, which I've been trying to make a thing, is happening after this. So here we go. Mochachats. We have Mars Lart. I feel much saner since I gave up on WWE and only watched wrestling that doesn't leave a bad aftertaste. I mean, they've clearly changed his name to prevent people from searching Jordan Devlin speaking out, despicable company. But what do you expect? What do you expect, SP?
I don't. They took away the people that they felt like had the biggest, things against them in the speaking out movement, and then they kept a couple of guys that we still remember was a part of that, and Jordan Devlin is one of them, or JD McDonough.
Yeah, there you go. Is that why they changed Alba Fyre's name as well? Was she part of that? Was she speaking that as well?
No,
I'm kidding.
No, now they can't search Jordan Devlin. They're gonna be like, who that? We don't know any Jordan Devlin. We don't got any Jordan Devlin here.
There's a musician in the UK named Devlin. So if you're into garage or grime, Devlin's a musician. SP's been here for 3 months. Oh, I need to teach him some stuff. We got Tails P. He says JD McDonough and Giovanni Vinci are the Finn Balor and Cesaro we have at home. You ever notice Solo does the corner turn around spot like he's gonna do a sting face, tongue out, and everything?
He does when the person they did the whole thing where the person dropped suddenly, and he did it like his dad. That was a nice little shot. I like that.
Of all the Usos, I guess he moves the most like Rikishi. I feel like put on some pounds and put on some thong. You got Rikishi 2.0 in
because he's stockier. He's
stockier. And to answer your question, no. Not every bald man with facial hair, with a suit and glasses is Cesaro. Put some respect on Giovanni Vinci. I see optics-wise, if you're in a coma for 5 years and you woke up and you watch NXT 2.0, you'd be slightly confused. But that is Giovanni Vinci, and he's very Vinci. And JD McDonough has got a big square head, SpongeBob square head.
SpongeBob Finn Balor.
There we go. Tells P again. Thank you again for donating. I'm waiting for Mandy to say she's done with all these little girls. Then all of a sudden, they ain't no stopping us now. We celebrate on the floor, top down, and we're ready to go. Bailey will be the new NXT Women's Champion.
Oh, Bailey with the wappy, the flappy inflatable men. Yeah, absolutely. No, I don't think. I think Bailey is kind of above NXT, especially this version of NXT 2.0. And ladies and gentlemen, SmackDown needs her desperately. Please don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that to SmackDown. They need Bailey.
When's the last time we saw Bailey? Because I'm a bit worried. If we haven't seen her with Quiff, doesn't mean she's growing her hair long.
Or it means that she's a little upset how they treated her best friend. I'm just saying.
And also, someone watch Edge. You better not try to put extensions like Tiffany Stratton and trying to be the old Edge.
Oh God!
Well, Billy Gunn did it in 2003. He has weird extensions for some weird reason with Jamie Noble. Heavy Metal says Mochachat for SP Strat.
I love it. I'm gonna find the blonde wig. That's it. I'm gonna find the blonde wig. All we gotta do is make sure NXT gives Tiffany Stratton some promo time. That's all we gotta hope for.
And save the best to last. It is Mayor Painesville's statement. It's the statement we've been waiting for, because this man, a dear friend of mine, lovely man. Dan's a lovely guy to have in your corner. Watch your back. Lovely man. We love to talk about themes. He is heavily invested in the German wrestling scene because he's German. And he's got ties to WXW. That's where Fabian Eichner, cut his teeth. Or he cut his teeth in Alex Wright's wrestling company. But anyway, he's got affiliations with Gunther. He hates that name too. Ludwig Kaiser. Dan hates that name too. He doesn't know who that is. So, Dan, this is from Dan. Hey guys, Giovanni Vinci. Born in northern Italy, he quickly moved up north and ended in Bavaria, Germany, where he learned from Alex Wright. The region where he grew up, Tyrol, is much more Austrian than Italian. He's gonna make it work, but I hate it. I
love the yes.
It was in exclamation marks. I had to make it work. I had to show you guys Mayor Painesville Dan's pain. Every time he looks at the screen, he's like the Godfather. My boy, look at my boy. They massacred my boy.
Why they do that to my boy?
Yes.
Why they do that to my boy?
First it's Gunther. He's like, oh no, Gunther. But let Gunther live. He's getting some action. Those abs are from action. Jenny is his trainer. And then Ludwig Kaiser always had abs, but he looks like he grows extra abs throughout the days. You know what I'm saying? And Vinny Vinci, Giovanni's facial hair. Mwah. But Mod roll call before we forget, guys. Saving the best to last. Sorry, SP, gotta do this. We highlight the unsung heroes behind the WrestleTalk pod. That is our Mod. We're talking about Blue Wench Order. Shout out to Mod brother Nad. Shout out to Mod brother Rob. Shout out to Mod brother Zach. Shout out. Ooh, you put some extra for that because Zach Robinson does music. You get it. Put out. Shout out to Mod brother Devin. And shout out to the mother of all mods, the loveliest, one of the hardest working individual. I have a pleasure of interacting with this woman from time to time, and she does her job really great. I appreciate you always. Jenna, me and SP3, we love you. I try to do my best not to be an ace hole, but this is for you. Mod mother, you write a tight ship. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. So yes, that's the Mod roll call, the BWO. We love you all, and we love everyone who joins us live here every Wednesday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. UK, for the Mocha 2.0 edition of the WrestleTalk Podcast for reviewing NXT 2.0. Of course, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified. You got tomorrow, you got the AEW Dynamite review with Ollie and
Doing your Gacy voice.
On Friday, you got the magazine show with Denise. On Saturday, you got the LIW boys, Tempest and Pete, reviewing SmackDown and AEW Rampage. And on Sunday, you'll have reactions for Forbidden Door. And then Monday, right back here, you'll have a review of Forbidden Door. But jump over to partsFUNknown for Quizzlemania. Denise is hosting, and it got a star-studded cast. I'm rooting for my boy Will Washington from Gap City making his debut over there. So check that out. Coming up in about 40 minutes.
We've got a new host now. That means I'm never appearing because I've never professionally worked with Denise. She doesn't know who I are. SP's worked with her, so SP, you rep us because I don't think I'll ever appear again. When Adam had it, I was, on a couple of times. Now we got a new host. It's all about people that she knows. She doesn't know who I am. Who is that? Nobody knows me. That's why I'm in the dyad.
You have gotten the light now. You will be back on Quizzlemania, and the taste of glory will be delicious. We will see you next Wednesday, right back here on the Mocha 2.0 edition. Sat, say the line though.
We're out of time. Bye.